SatAm Episode 3, Sonic and Sally. So is this gonna be an episode that wastes our time trying to ship two completely incompatible people when it's a kids show, so they're never gonna be allowed to get together? I like the red sky of Robotropolis, it's pretty. Bunny coughs in the fog with Sonic and Sally tells Nicole to arm the canisters in Sonic's backpack. I accidentally typed the Nicole in the script, that's how her character is. Everyone synchronizes their watches, and Sonic says they'll meet each other at the usual place, separating. Wait, Sally and Antoine are going off on their own with no bodyguards? Will they get in trouble? That's stupid of Sonic to just leave them behind. He's supposed to be genre savvy. And Sonic says let's do it to it. So that was a SatAM thing. It's still a dumb catchphrase. I love that in the comic, Buller's made fun of it in its first showing up, being treated realistically because the sentence makes no sense, where here it's taken completely seriously and it feels really lame. Sonic almost falls into a lava pit before grabbing onto something, and Bunny hides from a flying security drone, which detects an organic life form at first. I guess it detects her heartbeat. I'm embarrassed that it took me so long to figure that out. But with the extreme heat around, maybe from the lava, the heat sensor is confused and they decide it was a false alarm. So what was the point of Robotnik even having lava around here anyways? How could that possibly benefit him? Bunny counts down and then pulls the lever. Sally's in front of a map and she almost gets hit by some lasers. Sonic runs around as some security drones run around. Sonic pulls a rope and makes some convenient rubble fall on them from above. Why was that even there? He runs around dodging some lasers and runs back the way he came because he's surrounded by robots. He takes the situation seriously, being scared, and eventually uses a ring to boost himself away, leaving fire in his wake despite his Uncle Chuck's shoes. Of course Sally got kidnapped. You know, I was holding out hope that the episode wouldn't be that predictable. Rotor tells Bunny about the new SWAPbot factory, and Bunny says that she had to make an unladylike retreat despite being a badass cyborg. How's that unladylike? More like humiliating. Sonic jumps into the hay, getting all excited about falling like a cannonball. Bunny knows that Sally's been kidnapped, so she tells Sonic that he needs another ring. Seeing Sally in danger like this reminded me of when she was roboticized in Archie, so yeesh. Then it turns out that Robotnik used Sally's data to make a Sally impersonator, which copies everything about her from the power of a pink light shining at her. Well, that was easy. I would buy it more if he took her hair for Sally's DNA. I love that we get to see this concept in the show, though. I saw it in the Sally miniseries in the comic, which it just dawned on me that we never saw Robotnik get data from Sally to make a Sally infiltrator. So it actually comes out of nowhere that an infiltrator even could be made. It's not like she was in the camp that Fiona was in. But anyways, the concept was never fleshed out fully in the Sally miniseries because Sonic never met that robot Sally. Sally is for some reason convinced that Sonic's too smart to be foiled by Robot Sally. I guess all of a sudden now she has faith in his competence, when she constantly calls him an idiot. Or genre savviness rather, but she's just making it obvious with clumsy foreshadowing that Sonic will be fooled. Sonic gets a ring from the Lake of Rings, and Sally, in the electrified cage that she inexplicably touches the electricity of like an idiot, it would have been funny if she had been taunted for that, is taunted by the fake Sally, who casually mocks her that she's Sally and was in the Great Forest, where royal titles don't matter for some reason. I doubt that. I guess when she was made to copy Sally's personality, it was with the programming that she would still be loyal to Robotnik regardless. Otherwise, she'd be just like Sally. The lights go out and Snively is confused because he thought Robotnik wanted Sonic to get in. Robotnik doesn't want to make it too easy though because he likes a challenge. Robotnik says to let the hedgehog in, recalling the SWAPbots, and Sonic ends up seeing camera footage of the fake Sally in the cell. Somehow, Sonic can imitate Robotnik's voice, which was stupid in the comic too. How did Robotnik ever assume Sonic would be able to? Well, I guess he did it before in front of them. Or like in front of camera footage. He opens up the cell because he yells at it in a bad Robotnik impersonation, which is at least more realistic than a perfect one. Nikki decides that the fingerprint scan was unnecessary. He rescues the fake Sally, who starts flirting with him, saying he was brave, and she briefly kisses him. Okay, like, Sally doesn't act like that with Sonic. Why would the fake Sally be stupid enough to do this and blow her cover right away? Sonic barely reacts to it, being bashful because he was called a hero, and then running off with her in his arms. He doesn't return the affection, or say much of anything, and he doesn't say that it's because he's focused on the mission. Great chemistry there. Robotnik tries to get more data from Sally, and then there's a short-circuiting, destroying Robotnik's monitors because there was an overload of data. It's good that they explain why they don't make a billion Sally infiltrators. They could have sent them all over the world and completely ruined Sally's reputation. Sonic takes the fake Sally to Knothole, and she gives Tails a few kisses and holds his hands. Tails asks her to give the funny kiss on his nose. It's sweet to see that Sally would regularly do that with Tails if he's the surrogate son. Although I don't think the funny kiss ever comes up again in the entire show. So, it's like, why would you introduce this only now? Just to inconvenience the fake Sally. All I'm thinking here is, why the hell didn't Robotnik put a tracking device on the fake Sally so that he'd know where Knothole was the minute she was brought there? Why didn't he send a missile to her exact location, homing in on her? Idiot! Tails reminds the fake Sally that they started a different bedtime story last time. And Tails then complains that Sally didn't do a really annoying witch voice when reading the story. I can't imagine why Sally would put up with that, but I don't like kids. Okay, so why wouldn't the perfect replica of Sally also have all of Sally's memories? Like, she was a perfect replica in the Sally miniseries. She'd be able to not only avoid making slip-ups like this, having her have to back out of the bedtime story, but she'd be able to tell him where Knothole is right away. Robotnik was much smarter about this in the Sally miniseries. Bunny complains about her robot arm almost falling off. Well, that's pretty pathetic of a robot arm. Was that supposed to be funny? The fake Sally lies that the swap bots caught her before they could detonate. I guess she's sabotaging the team. Then she uses an infrared vision ability by shooting red laser beams from her eyes just outside of Tails' bedroom, when his curtains aren't closed. You idiot. Why would the fake Sally be so reckless? That's not characteristic of Sally at all. I'm pretty sure she'd be more careful than that. What was she even doing? Then the next morning, everyone sees that the carrot garden was ruined by the fake Sally, though they didn't see her in the process of doing that. Tails then warned Sonic about the fake Sally in private being actually useful, and it was smart of him to warn him in private. Oh, fuck you, Sonic! Why the hell are you not believing Tails? You idiot! You idiot! God, what an idiot! Why would it never occur to him that he's telling the truth? This is a sci-fi fantasy universe. Robotnik can make anything. He just assumes Tails had a bad dream instead, in a world full of robots where anything could happen. Idiot! Sonic isn't supposed to be an idiot. He's not Knuckles. I guess we can't let Tails be useful. Instead, the fake Sally arbitrarily gives herself away by hitting Sonic instead of giving a high five. Never mind. He doesn't get suspicious and figure out immediately from that. This plot is feeling so stupid. There's no way a robot with Sally's personality would be so obvious. But I guess if she acted exactly like Sally, then the plot wouldn't be interesting. But it just makes the characters look like idiots. Rotor says that the swap bots know their every move before they even make it. I guess that's what fake Sally's doing. And the fake Sally doesn't know how to do the secret handshake with Sonic because for some reason she wasn't given Sally's memories too, which is impossible to swallow at this point. Why didn't she just lie that she had amnesia right from the start? I guess she was under orders to fight Sonic. She generates some sticky mud that gets Sonic stuck in the floor, but Bunny saves him, and Sonic runs around the fake Sally so much that she decides to be knocked out while standing up out of pity. For some reason, the fake Sally tells them everything, even saying that Sally's about to be roboticized. I guess to save her own skin. But we never saw the hero threaten to kill her. Why is she suddenly talking all monotone just because they know she's a robot now? She's programmed with Sally's personality. Why would she ever want to talk like this? Why isn't she looking scared and panicking at the heroes finding out who she is and threatening her? If she didn't have emotions, then she would have humored Tails in his bedtime story instead of getting frustrated and impatiently giving up, when all she had to do was imitate the witch's voice in another voice when Tails would tell her to do that. Apparently, she has a panel open in her back. I guess one of the heroes thought to cut her back with a knife to get the organic fur out of the way. See that panel in the first place. And Rotor fiddles with it, saying that there's going to be a surprise for Robotnik. Sonic drags her along and she uses a laser to get Sonic in. Why? Is she under threat of destruction? She's betraying Robotnik. You'd think a robot would be programmed to be completely loyal to Robotnik, even if it means getting herself killed. And Rotor never says he reprogrammed her to be good, and if he did, then why are they going to... Bunny briefly uses a lasso on a robot, which is cool. It takes advantage of her southernness for once. And dozens of episodes later, she won't do this again. Then Robotnik notices a flying machine that Rotor's infiltrated and tells all units to attack it, creating the distraction Sonic needs to free Sally from the chair she was trapped in. I have a question, why didn't Robotnik have her roboticized the instant that she was captured? Did he need a lot of time to get ready? Wouldn't he have her roboticized already immediately? Although I guess he's not used to roboticizing her here, but then send her to the room where people are roboticized en masse. And if the fake Sally can shoot sticky mud whenever she wants, despite looking just like Sally, so how does she have room in her for that kind of stuff? Why didn't she use that against Sonic again? Well, maybe she's all out of it, but she never says that. Sonic frees Sally and holds her hands, and then the fake Sally does absolutely nothing to stop her from putting her in the roboticizer. Does she have a death wish? Did Rotor reprogram her? Is that why? I mean, this seems really unnecessary. Why wouldn't the heroes, if they could reprogram the fake Sally, to be okay with doing all this? Wait, instead of being destroyed, the fake Sally just starts shooting at Robotnik with her blue lasers instead. That's awesome! So the roboticizer didn't affect her at all. Will we ever see her again? Or am I supposed to assume that the fake Sally was murdered because they left her behind in Robotnik's clutches? Assholes. The story ends with Sally proving to Tails that she's the real deal this time, giving him a bunch of sweet kisses, and Sonic teasing her pretending that she's still a fake and running off with Tails. Okay, there's a lot to talk about here. If the fake Sally's never shown again, then what a wasted opportunity. This is like brilliant idea, horrible execution. It's like Pender's specialty. She could have been an excellent way for the heroes to sabotage and confuse Robotnik by reprogramming her to be on their side. And she could be differentiated from Sally with different clothes. She'd be like an infiltrator before Uncle Chuck. And she'd be basically a more useful Sally because of her powers. Is that why she'll be completely forgotten about, like it's just an episodic little kids cartoon? Because she'll usurp Sally, make her obsolete otherwise? Come on, she won't be with the freedom fighters. She'll be, like, attacking Robotnik, but he already knows that she's against him, so I guess she can't be a spy anymore. I guess I'm supposed to assume Robotnik had her killed by surrounding her with robots off screen, even though she could shoot lasers. That's a shame. The heroes really are showing a complete disregard for her life by just leaving her behind like psychopathic monsters instead of thinking to take advantage of her better. Did they honestly not know that maybe the roboticizer would undo the Robotnik loyalty coding by trying to implement it twice? Because if they didn't know, why would she not object to being put in the roboticizer at all when it'd blow her up for all she knows? I guess that was Rotor's surprise for Robotnik, and the roboticizer by itself didn't do anything at all other than unintentionally activate Rotor's surprise. This makes way more sense than in the comic where it blew up robots for no reason, instead of just doing nothing to them because they're already roboticized, though. And that's not even getting into the big problem with the story. Why didn't the fake Sally have Sally's memory so she could imitate her better? And why was a robot with Sally's personality stupidly reckless enough to do suspicious stuff right next to Tails' house? And like attack Sonic instead of high-fiving him? What was she even doing next to Tails' house anyways? Why didn't she just lie that she had amnesia to explain her not knowing stuff right away? Sally's not that stupid. She shouldn't be stupid either. She could have stuck around a lot longer doing her mission if she just did that. All of her problems would have been solved. Sally's supposed to be smarter than that. Like, she could have ruined her reputation. And I really hated that Tails wasn't believed by Sonic about anything. destroying his potential to be useful in the story. Why even show him finding out if he's not going to be believed about it anyways? That was complete filler then. Feels like every episode has filler. I loved the idea of a fake Sally infiltrating the heroes. It was a brilliant story concept to see at its fullest potential. And an interesting contrast to how Penders wrote it in the Sally miniseries, where she was just a perfect replica of Sally that even fooled the audience, who would be planned to portray at the last second, but was never around her main group of friends. So it's more creative that way. But this story, I don't know, I guess this felt too convenient for the heroes. It made them look like idiots by not figuring out immediately. A Sally infiltrator would logically do a much better job than this. This would be a plot ongoing for several episodes, not just one. That might be the real kicker for me. And considering how often like Sally just insults Sonic, and like she doesn't have to be the one using Nicole. Maybe it would have been fine if like she had been roboticized and replaced with a fake Sally for a couple episodes. And that would be a major goal for the heroes, to save her, to de-roboticize her. Maybe she could be a cyborg because the de-roboticizer only worked halfway. Being more useful, but no, that'd be gutsy. I guess it was annoying seeing the heroes being fooled by a fake Sally, as she just sabotaged the team and lied about it though. So I might not want to see that continue for longer. But she was written to be an idiot just to force the heroes figuring her out early. Robotnik should have been able to use a robot like this to completely ruin Sally's reputation, which would have been the obvious first idea with that, instead of making her pretend she was Sally uselessly. But I guess he assumed that if she acted evil, the heroes would immediately figure out that she wasn't the real deal anyways and use her against him at worst. He should have explained that then.